I know, sounds like a very ominous title, but I'm not wording it that way to scare you. This isn't fear-mongering for views. It's just one of those things that some preppers worry about were there to be a long-term grid-down situation. And that is, there being hordes of starving people hunting them down for food and supplies. Depending upon how long SHTF lasts, this could be a very viable threat. But how much of a threat is it really? Let's take a look at some advantages and disadvantages, that is, advantages you have over them and disadvantages against you, dealing with groups of desperate intruders looking to steal supplies and other goods from you. We'll discuss 5 pros and cons to consider for each position here. Let's start by taking a look at the disadvantages of dealing with groups of people in this sort of a scenario. Firstly, obviously, you've got desperate people. They're hungry, they're thirsty, they may have lost loved ones, been forced to abandon their homes, they may be sick. You get the idea. And sometimes a person with nothing left to lose is a very dangerous and unpredictable person indeed. Second is numbers. We're not talking about scavengers here, one here and one there. We're talking about groups of people who are trying to work together for a common goal. And that goal is rooting out people who have supplies so that they can steal from them. And depending upon the size of those groups, it could be quite difficult to deal with. Thirdly, these being desperate people, they may be quite ruthless and damn near impossible to come to terms with. Even if they took everything you had, they may still kill you anyway. And in their zeal to uproot you, may end up destroying everything in the process. And I'll tell you, I've heard many would-be marauders brag that they would burn a prepper out. And I ask you, what would that leave behind to be taken? Not very logical of a decision, is it? Fourth, these people will likely be armed, even if the majority of them didn't own a weapon to begin with. They will have found one by now, so you may end up with a firefight on your hands. And number 5, the one thing many preppers may not have thought about or even had the ability to train for, even if they are well trained, and that is actually having to eliminate enemy personnel that are attempting to penetrate your position. And make no mistake, that's exactly what you would end up doing. And unless you've actually had to do it, you can only train for it as far as your imagination carries you. And it's not so easy for many people as they may at first think. Just some food for thought with that one, folks. And now we'll take a look at some of the advantages that you would have over them. Firstly, most of these people are not very likely to have any sort of training. And even if there is a person or persons in their group that has training, it would be no simple task for those individuals to direct, maintain, and control a group of people who have no idea what they are doing. If you and your group is well trained, this gives you a great tactical advantage over larger numbers. Or in other words, better 5 lions than 500 sheep. Secondly, you have the home field advantage. These people are coming to you, to your home, your property, your neighborhood, and you know it better than they do. Them coming onto your turf puts them at a disadvantage right from the start. They could walk into traps, they could walk into bottlenecks, they could walk into a shooting gallery. They have no idea what to expect. Third, since you are likely in a stationary position, that being a house, a building, what have you, then we'll assume that you've had time to fortify your position. And I don't have to tell you how difficult it can be to take down a fortified position, especially against a mob of people with little or no training and likely no plan. Fourth, these groups may not be as large as many fear-mongering channels may have led you to believe. Odds are you would be dealing with a small group, or smaller groups splintered off from a larger one. Not that it isn't impossible that there be an oversized group to deal with, but I really don't see a mass of 500 people marching down the street with torches and pitchforks. Likely, you would be dealing with groups of 3 to 10 people at a time. And fifth, many of these people may be weak from hunger, illness, dehydration, and God knows what else. These are not the types of people to put up much of a fight, physically speaking, despite the ferocity of their desperation. And you know what? I'll throw you one more to consider, just for good measure. You have the advantage of being able to plan now for if that sort of a thing ever happens. Any plans they come up with will be on the fly. Right now, you have time on your side. Make good use of it. Do you have anything you would like to add to the video? Please feel free to post your ideas in the comment section down below. They may be helpful to other viewers. They may be helpful to me. You never know. Please do remember to give the video a thumbs up. Always appreciated. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you are new. And don't forget about the notifications icon. And please do check out some of the other videos. If you're new to the channel, you may find something you like. So as always, stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.